The Powerpuff Girls are bringing a bunch of fresh new changes to MultiVersus Season 3, and some of this stuff is crazy. Batman has a new dash attack, it's completely new, but its previous animation is now tied to his down attack, which can be hit confirmed into. This overall brings more combo routes to the character, which is a major thing that they've done all across the board for every character in Season 3. LeBron's jab and move animations have been sped up. His spike hitbox no longer has a sour spot and will always spike no matter what. But the airspeed for him to close the gap and continue comboing opponents has been significantly buffed. Not to mention, like I said, every character has had their airspeed of their moves improved overall, from Agent Smith, Garnet, and even Banana Guard, who at his core is just a basic character. Unfortunately, also had basic combo routes. They even showed us a little sneak peek of what Banana Guard can do compared to previous updates now in Season 3, and it's bringing on massive changes to everyone. The team has also apologized to tier list makers and character breakdown video makers because every single character has been tweaked in some way. So new combo routes are very possible, and even previous uncomboable moves can now be comboed into overall being adjusted. And now we're gonna have to relab and relearn everything. My reaction to all of this earlier was way too long, over an hour long, so I decided to make a shorter video highlighting all the major stuff and get the second half breakdown of the Powerpuff Girls included in this video. But of course, first we got to talk about the Powerpuff Girls because their kit excites me even further, because they full on confirmed that we could swap between them on the fly, and they function just like Pokemon Trainer, a 3-in-1 character with different properties per moves and animations. With their combo routes and hitboxes, it's going to be a very easy character to pick up for newcomers, but at the higher level, seasoned veterans will take their kits even further. And I think seeing the meta develop over day 1 to day 5 of this character, eventually a week, will have some night and day different findings. So hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any of that stuff. This week is going to be a crazy one. Help rates at 38%, even higher. And now, let's jump into the video. Let's go! Breakdown time!
Community Manager Nakat, and today I am here to talk about the Powerpuff Girls joining the MultiVersus roster. They are the newest addition to MultiVersus, and it's not one, not two, but all three of them together as one character. But that doesn't mean that they don't have properties that are unique to themselves. With the Powerpuff Girls passive ability, Sister Act, the Powerpuff Girls can swap between each other using down special. Different leaders apply unique
Best character in the game. Best design character in the game. Oh my, I'm so glad that they actually made that a thing. Ever since they were first teased, I was hoping that you'd be able to tag between each of them and they wouldn't be relying on making individual special moves relating to them. But yo, choosing who we want at point, that's exactly what everybody wanted.
Attributes to the trio. Bubbles is fast, but her hits have less knockback. Buttercup is slower, but her hits have more knockback. And Blossom is balanced between the two of them. Different leaders also change the properties of the girl's special moves, so depending on which girl you're using, there is going to be a significant dedicated purpose for using that girl. So now getting into the...
So they function like Pokemon Trainer, but not in a sense as in depth as Pokemon Trainer, right? Because like, yes, Squirtle is the faster, less damage, but combo heavy one. And then you got Charizard, who is the big damage, like KO power one, and then Venusaur is kind of like the balance in between. But in the beginning of Ultimate, Venusaur was a menace. Each of those characters had individual different moves, whereas it looks like the Powerpuff Girls will have the same moves, but they just function differently and have obviously different effects.
Powerpuff Girls normal attacks. The first grounded normal attack we're going to talk about is the Powerpuff Girls dash attack, which actually has the ability to ring out opponents.
That range.
It is a great vertical sending move, and you are able to combo off of this move depending on the opponent's damage. The next move that I'd like to talk about is the Powerpuff Girls side attack. Side attack is a 3-hit combo that controls a lot of space and goes pretty far. What I mean by this is, if I use the first one, I am able to connect, right? You see how she kind of lunges forward. However, on the second one, I don't always have to try to land the first one. I can space myself in a way where I hit with the second hit of the move, which then will allow me to still finish into the third hit of the move.
That's going to be really good.
If I just want to maximize spacing as much as possible, I can hit with the final move as well. Again, this move is very fast. They lunge forward, so it has a lot of range, and it will just strictly knock the opponent back. But you can combo into other options with this move traditionally, like other side attacks in the game as well. So you want to be able to use it in that regard too. Powerpuff Girls grounded neutral attack allows them to slide on the floor towards an opponent. This not only allows them to duck under certain things, but it is a move that is strong, and depending on which girl you are, will determine how strong the move is. Of course, with Blossom, she has a good balance between both strength and speed. Therefore, you're going to hit the move and you're going to send the opponent flying a bit. Bubbles is a bit weaker, so you're going to notice that the opponent doesn't fly as high when getting hit by this move, and Buttercup sends the opponent the furthest. The Powerpuff Girls down attack is a good combo starting move that knocks the opponent towards you. It's very fast and will have a lot of use at the ledge when your opponent is trying to come up, or if your opponent has a tendency to roll a lot on the ground, this will be a good move to cover that option. As you can see, the girls slam down the phone and they shoot out towards the opponent, pretty much bringing them in to get comboed vertically. You can either send them vertically again if you want upon landing this move, or you can actually use your forward air or anything that will send them horizontally as well.
I saw in the trailer how great that move was. It was utilized as a combo startup tool, but I didn't see how long the hit stun actually is. The hit stun is pretty significant on there, so you can really follow up. And again, great 2v2 character. Honestly, I think Powerpuff Girls is going to be thriving in 2v2 atmospheres for MultiVersus.
The Powerpuff Girls grounded up attack is actually pretty cool. They are able to turn into a grounded tornado, vacuuming the opponent and sending them upward. The awesome thing about this move is not only does it have a lot of range, but it also has the ability to ring out on the top blast zone. And if I was Buttercup in this situation, I would have a much easier time landing that ring out, which of course adds to just how cool it is to be able to have different unique buffs depending on which girl you are controlling at that time. Use this move as a great anti-air tool or even as an approach tool, as you can actually combo into it with a jab.
So essentially there, Buttercup actually has a jab kill confirm at higher percents. If you are playing as Buttercup and you go into jab up attack, that actually can kill. Crazy.
Getting into the Powerpuff Girls grounded special attacks. Neutral special on the ground allows the Powerpuff Girls to each use a unique ability that has the potential to either ring out an opponent or of course be comboed into.
Oh, so this is all
depending
unique.
On which one you do will have pretty much a use that is unique to each girl.
The cool thing about how unique that is, right, is like we know like Blossom can actually blow wind from the show. Bubbles, I think, is louder is what was hers was. Buttercup developed hers last, which was a whole thing like that she had to go through in the episodes, but she ended up getting eye lasers.
The next move I like to talk about is side special on the ground. Side special on the ground has the ability to send out a girl to grab an opponent and actually throw them. If I'm controlling Blossom, Buttercup will be thrown and throw the opponent down. I am able to actually combo off of this because of the ground bounce, and if I want to use this at the ledge, I can throw the opponent downward under the stage to try to set up for an edge guard.
Okay.
If I'm controlling Bubbles and I throw Blossom, Blossom will throw the opponent back towards the girls so that they can combo off of it. And if I am controlling Buttercup and I throw Bubbles, I'm actually able to throw the opponent upward and either ring out this, or I can actually just apply more damage depending on how far they go when I throw them. Which,
dude, so not only do you as a player have to remember what each character will individually do in that situation, the opponent has to know as well so they can, well, DI and prepare for that. It's such a I like that. That's a very unique element to this character,
which varies depending on, of course, the opponent's damage percentage. So you want to use this to not only pressure opponents in neutral, but of course to combo off of it as well and set up for ring outs. Something cool is that if you hold this move, the girl will go further. So this is what it looks like if I tap. This is what it looks like if I hold. Much different. Down special allows you to swap between the girls, and this is very important. This is pretty much the core of the character, being
very
able to
important
control
indeed.
all three. But let's talk about a few specifics regarding this mechanic, because there's something cool you can do. So you can actually combo off of this, because when you switch, there's a hitbox at the end of the switch. Now, you're not just gonna run at people and just do this, right? Even though it's great for comboing. So we gotta find utility for this. If we do jab 1, 2, we can actually switch right into a girl and throw out an attack, which is really cool. Something also is, if you want to pretty much buffer a special that the next girl has that the current girl doesn't, you can do that as well. So if I just tap neutral special, I get Ice Breath from Blossom, right? If I double tap, then I press special, I get the Sound Wave from Bubbles. But what if, as Blossom, I want to buffer immediately into that sound wave from Bubbles? I have to pretty much input down special and immediately tap neutral special. Immediately, there's a timing for it in order for me to get that quick switch into the move. You want to learn this tech, especially if you're going to main the Powerpuff Girls, because it is going to be crucial to getting out quick specials that can actually turn the tides of a match in your favor immediately. The next move I'd like to talk about is the Powerpuff Girls grounded up special. The girls launch from the ground into the sky, and this move does have a hitbox, and it is exceptionally good for edge guarding off of the stage, not only because of how active the move is, but of course how fast it is too with the knockback that it has. So this is Bubbles. That's how high Bubbles goes. If I switch to Buttercup, much shorter, as you can notice, and if I switch to Blossom, it's in betweenish. So you want to make sure that you know which girl you're using, so you know how high you're going and how much damage or knockback you will be dealing. This move has the...
It's going to be so incredible because I know that the core strength of the character is to use every single one of them in tandem to get the full strength and utilization out of them. But I know there's going to be players that specifically, oh, I just main Blossom and play only Blossom, or I only play Bubble. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's going to be really interesting to see as you go through the lifespan of what MultiVersus Season 3 is going to be like. Ultimately, you're going to want to use all of them, but I think it's really cool that they have this unique mechanic. It would have been nice to see if there's another way to alternately switch between them. Like, instead of going in one direction, like from a Blossom to Bubbles, if you can go from Blossom to Buttercup to kind of like really create some unique and interesting combo routes, or keep your opponent like on their toes. I think that would be awesome.
The ability to hit people vertically, but also knock people a bit horizontally or diagonally. So get very used to how this move functions off stage, because it's going to be a very important tool, not only for your recovery, but for your ability to edge guard. For the Powerpuff Girls aerial specials, they are pretty much the same thing as they are on the ground. So you just want to be able to use these in the same way. However, I'm going to talk about one of them that is much different. So in the air, right, if I use side special, as you can see, the girls shoots at a girl just like on the ground, but you actually zoom to them as well. This one actually cannot be charged, but it is a good horizontal recovery option that also has the ability to knock the opponent back. Now, the
Get
thing
back in their
is
face.
that, did you see that trajectory? If I am controlling Blossom, just like on the ground, I would throw Buttercup. The opponent goes at a downward diagonal angle. Now, I know that you guys are understanding what that means for offstage edge guarding. If an opponent gets hit by this and knocks them at a weird angle, that allows you to go off and try to continue to pressure them off stage.
This is kind of like, it's kind of giving me Falco and Fox vibes when it comes to their side specials, their Phantasm. So like Falco's one is a spike. If he goes through you, he will actually launch you going downwards. Can be a really solid kill move if the opponent's not anticipating it. Whereas Fox's, as he goes through you, he launches you back up, and you can kind of edge guard a little bit better with that. But I do love that they have that element. These characters have that element that of characters that I've made in Smash Bros. So that's pretty cool.
If I am Buttercup and I shoot Blossom, the opponent is going to go forward, not towards you, because we don't want to bring them back, right? This is meant to be aggressive offstage edge guarding.
Kill them.
Now, Buttercup and I throw Bubbles, the opponent will go upward on connection. So this is a good move not only for offense, but of course to recover back to the stage if using your up special just
Oh, the sound
enough.
effects.
Aerial down special functions the same. You're going to switch girls, but they're able to combo off of this in the air as well upon connection.
Oh my god.
And of course use it to ladder opponents to the top blast zone. So it's
Hell
a
yeah.
combo tool. It's a utility tool for switching between
Ladder
girls,
character.
and it exerts a ton of pressure because look at
I say that and then they use a human ladder.
how big this move actually is. And lastly, we are going to talk about the Powerpuff Girls aerials, and this is where things get a little bit different than on the ground. So as y'all saw with the Rainbow Dash perk, we're able to do a dash attack in the air. I do not have it currently equipped, so I'm not able to do that. So my forward aerial is coming out. Forward aerial allows the girls to pretty much form a horizontal ladder that knocks away the opponent. This move has a lot of range, it's fast, and it is used not only to approach, but it is also used, of course, to keep opponents away. You are able to hit the girls because they still have a hurt box throughout the entire character during this move.
That's good.
So it is a hitbox and a hurt box.
Thank God it's not intangible.
You just throw this out over and over and over. There
or
is a chance
disjointed.
that you will be punished, so make sure you are throwing it out with purpose. Next move I like to talk about is the Powerpuff Girls neutral aerial. So neutral air is a large move. As you can see, it's a bit different than the dash attack on the ground where it's smaller, but they're doing a cartwheel.
It's probably the biggest neutral air in the game.
Hand in hand, going in a circular motion that you are able to actually hit the opponent with and combo off of as well. You can get really creative because this not only is an approach tool.
As an approach tool, right? I'm sure he's going to show it to us, but I'm so excited. I got to talk about it. You're going to be able to launch them forward, neutral air to launch into the enemy, to launch them up and then follow up with a kill move. This character, dude.
As I just shown you, it is a combo tool as well. So use this move not only to approach, but of course you can use it out of other attacks as well if deemed necessary.
Yeah. That follow-up is great.
The next move I'd like to talk about is the Powerpuff Girls downward aerial attack. Downward air is a thrust downward between all three girls to knock the opponent down to the bottom blast zone. You of course can use this on stage to trigger a ground bounce, that way you're able to combo off of that as well. This move is super good in the fact that it's very fast, it's very strong, and of course it just has reliable setup power, so whether your opponent's at mid percent or of course they're at high percent, they will be taking a lot of damage.
Oh my God, I love them. I love them so much.
And the last aerial that we're going to be talking about is the Powerpuff Girls upward aerial. So the upward aerial is just a singular quick strike that sends the opponent upward. I want to say that the move has decent range because the Powerpuff Girls, as you can see, even though they have all this power, they're a little bit stubby regardless. And so with this move, it is not like the grounded variant that has the tornado vacuum hitbox. So unlike its grounded counterpart, it does not have the vacuum tornado. It is just a singular strike, but it still has enough damage to ring out opponents, and it is still a good option, not only for approaching in the air, but of course for trying to land ring outs from the top. So lastly, let's talk about the Powerpuff Girls perks and how they work. Something that makes them unique is that they are one of the only characters in the game that can now do an aerial dash attack with the perk Rainbow Dash. Use this move not only to knock away opponents, but of course you can use it as an approach option, and depending on where they DI, you will be able to combo off of the move. The next move is called an extra ingredient. What this move does is it changes the properties of their neutral specials. So their neutral specials by themselves are really cool. You can combo off of them. Some can ring out opponents. They're dope. But what if I told you that extra ingredient actually adds debuffs to the opponent? For instance, if I use Blossoms, it actually adds stacks of freeze. But if I use Bubbles, it will stun the opponent. And if I use Buttercup, if you actually just trigger the laser, it is a strong attack that can actually ring out the opponent, or has the potential to ring out the opponent. But of course, with
the grounded
an extra
looks stronger,
you're actually able to apply Ignite to an opponent, making them take damage over time. So it has the utility of both being super strong, but also of course applying a debuff, which is really useful. The Powerpuff Girls are a very quick.
I can already see the comments. Nerf Buttercup rolling in right now, day one.
Explosive character, but I do believe that they are one of the more technical characters in the game, so they will take time to master at a very high level. However, they do have options that make them welcoming to newcomers, that will allow you to play them even if you don't really have too much of a technical grasp on the game yet, but you just want to play your favorite character. It is so awesome to see all three of them in MultiVersus together, and we are so happy to have them a part of the official roster. We hope you love this character. I think this character is not only awesome, but one of the stronger characters in the game, and I cannot wait to see what combos all of the players come up with the Powerpuff Girls. This is Nakat, your community manager over at Player First Games. Please let me know in the comment section below what you think of the Powerpuff Girls. Will you be maining them, and what character not only do you want to see a guide for next, but what character do you want to see in MultiVersus next? Take it easy. Please subscribe to the channel. Have a great one.
use a throw and you dodge during it, you could actually move up further, so you could get a follow-up that you normally wouldn't.
Oh,
so you can line up
yeah.
stuff like this, or get down from there.
Even
Mojo,
faster. I like that.
again, thank you very much. You go to Buttercup. At higher damage windows, the eye laser is a very strong KO option, but you can't combo into it unless you do this.
Ah, so you can close that gap and get in close during the grab.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of depth to this character. There's a lot of unique ways to play them. You could also do things. Go ahead, Mojo. There we go. Got to give him his time to shine. You know?
Yeah, you know. He's a very talkative monkey.
So you could also do things such as jabs into walking forward while you're using the down special. You could drift forward into combo follow-up. So there's always ways to follow up into the character.
On top of all this stuff, the rest of the showcase, which is incredibly long, I'll be linking it down below for you guys to check out for yourself. The new Gremlins Theater stage is an asymmetrical stage. It has a unique 2v2 element where your teammate can actually move the platforms on the sides for the opposite side and help you work against the enemy team to force bad recoveries on stage and take advantage of the offstage game. Also, the Rowdy Rough Boys is the tier 70 skin for the Powerpuff Girls, and very well might be the first time that I outright purchase all of the tiers in the Battle Pass just to speedrun unlock them. Am I the only one on that boat? I'm sorry. The Powerpuff Girls in general already are a very hype character to look at, man. It's not even it is day 0. They come out tomorrow, but this character I think is going to have some of the most unique combo expression when it comes to different player varieties, as far as like what utilities some players find more use out of and more benefit out of. And it's just going to be really cool to analyze and see how their meta in particular develops, especially going forward with this season of MultiVersus Season 3 that's going to have all kinds of character changes that were super exciting and that they're bringing to the game and continuously expanding on. They also said that they're looking to add in more perks and rework some perks, so new perks will be coming eventually. I don't know if that's going to be a mid-season thing. That would be really cool if it was, because I think more perks is definitely something that we need. Everybody's just using the weekend perk, and it is funny that the Powerpuff Girls are assassins. Obviously, they're much lighter characters, so they might be easier to ring out, but when you look at the combination of their kit, they are assassins, but when it comes to Buttercup specifically, she comes off as kind of like a bruiser with how much damage she can deal, knockback wise especially. And if Bubbles actually functions like Squirtle in a sense, where you can get a lot of combo potential and more range out of her kit, I think that'll be really special. Overall, each of them seem really good. I don't see the speed change as far as like Buttercup goes compared to the other characters being a significant let's say difference or like handicap toward the character. I think they're still going to be great, but overall everything that I've been seeing so far is what I dreamed this character would be like when they first announced or like kind of sneak peeked at them, teased us with the Joker trailer back in May. So this is really exciting. I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you excited for the Powerpuff Girls, and what changes coming into MultiVersus Season 3 are you greatly looking forward to? Because there's a lot of awesome things that they talked about already. So much to cover in one video. And it's just the beginning. They're going to continue to keep revamping stuff and improving things as far as movement speed, air movement speed, and character hitboxes as far as enjoying certain characters' playstyles. Continuously changing and updating as far as how moves will function and giving characters new moves. I think that's a really cool thing that they're doing. Specifically like what Ajax mentioned about how Batman used to kind of have 2 or 3 combos that you'd see continuously going on. Now you're going to have a bunch of different routes you can execute with Batman. And sure, there will be optimal things that you can do, but player expression I think is the best thing to focus on when it comes to a platform fighter. That's one of the things that mainly intrigued me with the genre when I first picked up a platform fighter, was that not everybody's going to play the character the same. Everybody's going to have their own style, different ways that they execute moves, and different combo routes that they go about. There's always going to be the optimal thing, but character and player expression, major improvements. I'm glad that they're taking a huge focus on that. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More MultiVersus Season 3 things are coming your way this week, and you don't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.